Erko joined our team a while ago. He started with us with joining some sparring sessions like some fighters do. He was training somewhere else, and then after a while he decided to commit to Combat Brothers, like he joined our team. I know him as a very friendly person. I really like to have him in the team. I think he's a good guy with a good heart, and he has a fun story with the bodybuilding/influencer background. Overall, very good guy to have in the team. Has great stand-up skills, good kickboxing skills, and is definitely improving on his wrestling and jiu-jitsu as well. And of course his stand-up. So won quite a lot in the last couple of years, and now he gets the chance to win a title with Brave, a big organization in the Middle East. So looking forward to that.
I'm born in Bosnia-Herzegovina. During the war, I had to leave the country with my parents, of course, and we ended up in Germany for the first year. After that, we came to Belgium, and that's where I actually grew up, in Antwerp. I've been there all my life. Of course, latest 10, 12 years, a lot of traveling, but mostly in Belgium. It's really a funny story how I began with MMA, because it was just by accident. I went to Germany to help a friend out with media, and actually it was Roberto Soldic, and I came over there to help him with media presentation, to do some training together, but nothing to do with MMA. And he ended up asking me, come here, let's train together, come here now and then. It's only 2-hour drive. And like this, I started going every week, and I was at his first fight in KSW, and that's where I saw the show, and I was like, wow, this is something I want to do in my life. I want to be here. I want to fight the guys that are fighting there. And it's like a dream come true. I ended up fighting those guys that were fighting at that event, the heavyweight guys. And 4 months later, I ended up having a contract at KSW and had a fight there. Of course, this wouldn't be possible if I didn't have any, like, let's say, fame or following. I grew up in the bodybuilding fitness industry, and that's where I built up a following on social media, and that's how I ended up having a contract in a really big MMA promotion. Well, I've done how many fights now? 8, 2, so 10 fights, actually 10 professional MMA fights in my career. It's been since I started very late with the sport, but it's an example that it's never too late to start with something if you really love it and you put all your time and effort to do it. And of course, if you have a little bit of this thing that you are a quick learner, then everything is possible. So I've done 10 fights. I won 8. And I lost 2, 8 by finish, so TKO or KO. That's one of my. I think that's also something that people love in my style. I'm always ready to give an explosive fight. Always an attraction. There will always be something and end up in a finish. I'm always going for that. In the beginning of my career, I took much more risk than now. Now it's a little bit less, so now it's more calculated, but I still always go for the finish.
Yeah, so Erko's been training for about 1.5 years, maybe 2 years with us. He's always been close, so he lives in Belgium, but he never figured out to train with the best. So a couple of years ago, like 1.5 years ago, it dawned on him, and then he joined us. His wrestling and jiu-jitsu was pretty basic at the time, but the cool thing is he really catches up quickly. So his Bosnian wrestling genes are activated, and his wrestling is getting very strong. His jiu-jitsu is getting good. Defensively is of course what we focus on with him, but even his offense is getting better and better. I see him side choking some people. I see him getting top positions pretty often. I see him throwing some guys through the air nowadays. So it's cool to see him grow. He has a big opportunity in front of him. Last time he fought, I was with him there in Ljubljana, and I'll go with him this time again. He's basically the hometown hero there, because every Bosnian guy comes to Slovenia to support him. So there's a lot of pressure on him, but I think he deals pretty well with this. I'm excited to see the show.
So my fifth fight in my career. So after my loss to Pujanovski, for me it was a loss, but in one way I wanted to get back really fast in the game. So I asked my manager, let's get a fight as soon as possible. I want to fight somebody. And he arranged a fight for me at his promotion, EMC in the time. It was against a Polish guy that used to train here. So that's the funny part. he's the guy that came from Combat Brothers. And unfortunately, also the training camp was full of a lot of things going on, but unfortunately I lost that fight by KO. That was my first KO loss ever in my life, you know. So it was very serious moment, a very down moment with a lot of mental things going on, and eventually I ended up training now at the gym that I lost to, you know. But how I ended up here, it's because of Alain and Jan. Jan, who's also training here, of course, a longer time, and Alain van Merckt, who's also been a long time training with Reinier. They were asking me to fight when Reinier was having to fight in one championship against Malakin. They were looking for bigger guys to train with, to spar with, and eventually I came here, and that's how I ended up here. It was crazy. I don't think a lot of guys would come to a gym that they have fought to, you know what I mean? That have fought together and to do something. But I came out of my comfort zone. I came here, and honestly, the way I improved in the last months, or let's say the last year, it's insane. It's insane. Really, really good team, and we have now a really solid team with guys our weight. We train together and we prepare for every fight together. And it's the professional, the way we really take it professionally, it's on another level, really. And that's why I appreciate it here. And yeah, that's it.
Top boy here. Erko is fighting next week. He's bringing the brave belt home. He's ready. The story is, we know each other from wrestling. I bring him to Combat Brothers. Was a huge difference maker in his career. Before he was like not a real MMA fighter. He was more like a fighter, but no MMA fighter. I brought him here. He's dedicated. Now he can do striking, he can wrestle, he already could, but now he can grapple, he can defend very well. He's ready, I think. Second round knockout, he's the counter puncher. If he counters you once, you're out, so good luck. I know he's gonna bring the belt back home. We're champion team.
Goeie sprong Alain, nog een keer weg. Weg met je heup. Pak top. Leuk voor die triangle.
There are a lot of sacrifices in MMA, let's say professional MMA, also the amateur league, but as a professional MMA fighter, you have to sacrifice a lot of time, first of all, a lot of time. For me, it's a lot of traffic time in the car, of course, because I drive over here. I also drive to my other coach, Celtics gym, where I do a lot of my striking with Roger in near Brussels. Opweg, that's also like 1 hour, 20 minutes for me from my home. This is 45 minutes. So every day I'm in the car, you know, but I take this time especially to warm up before, let's say, mentally for the training, and also afterwards to think about my training and about my techniques, what I'm doing. So I also like that time. That's talking about time and traffic. Now, of course, food, you know, food, family. Sometimes you're in training camp, you're a lot of busy with your sport. You don't have so much time to make for your family. You're also tired between the day. You want to rest. and then also do the social media that I'm doing, you know, it takes a lot of time. But eventually when you love something, you know, it then doesn't matter. When you love something, you put all the time and effort to it. Listen, fighting for the Brave title, it's really a dream come true for a lot of fighters. A lot of fighters dream to fight in a big promotion and to fight for the title. You know, in my short career, MMA now, 5 years, almost 5 years, or let's say just 5 years, fighting for a title in a big organization, it's insane. Really, it's insane, and it's a challenge for me. You know, I love to challenge myself. I always put challenges on my name, what I'm doing. And for me, having that belt around my waist, that's my goal. And I said also, I will be champion this year. You know, I manifested this already, and I know what I'm gonna do when I come there, before the fight, during the fight, after the fight, my speech, everything is already calculated. You know, this is everything here already. Every fight, I visualize every fight, what I'm doing during the fight, after the fight. Of course, you always have to be prepared for everything, you know, always have to be prepared and always have to have that thing, like it can also go wrong, because otherwise the disappointment is too much, you know. If you think everything will be flawless and you lose, or let's say something goes wrong, then you're very disappointed. So you have to be ready for that, but you also have to be mentally prepared and believe in yourself and know what you're doing, because in my opinion, fighting, it's 50-50 mentally, you know, 50% in the mind, 50% in the physically. So that maybe even more mentally, really. My advice would be listen to the coach. First of all, listen to the coach, and there's no really like a magic pill or anything or to say to make everything easier or to win everything. The only thing is, the more time you put in and the more hard work, the more it pays off. Very important, leave the ego out of the door when you enter the gym, because that's a big factor that always plays in this game, and a lot of guys, they still think about their ego. That's why they injure themselves during training. Leave the ego and also listen to criticism. You have to accept criticism. Dus als we opkomen, gaan we natuurlijk met de traditioneel dansen. Pa, pa, pa. En dan deze. Kijk, heel lief voetwerk.
Mooi man. Thanks.